Hey, hello and welcome to my other channel. Today I'm going to talk about the Husqvarna Svartpilen 401 and why I do not recommend this bike. I'm going to be totally transparent, very honest. I like the bike itself. It rides pretty good. It's a very light motorcycle, very maneuverable, however you say that word, and it's very agile. That being said, the problem is not with the bike itself. It's with the dealer. My problem is with the dealer. First, when I was looking to buy a bike, I wasn't sure which bike I was going to buy. And I was looking the Triumph 400, and I was very convinced about it because of the look, the price, everything. But I did not want to buy a bike made in India because of quality. I had my concerns. And I was walking by the Husqvarna dealer, and I just realized they had a similar bike to the Triumph 400, which is this bike, the 401. And I stepped into the dealer and I started talking to the guy, and I commented to him that I was looking the Triumph bike, but I didn't like the fact that it was made in India. And he started to talk to me about Husqvarna, it's coming from Sweden, blah, blah, blah. And also he mentioned that it had a 0% finance. Just the truth is not 0%, it's just the inflation. So basically it's free money. And upon that, I was very tempting offer, so I bought it. I signed the papers and it took a few days. So when I went back home, because I haven't done my research on the Husqvarna Svartpilen 401, and then I realized that first thing, the bike is made in India, in the same factory. I think it's Bahag, the same factory as the Triumph. So that got me a little bit upset. And then the guys told me that the next day all the paperwork was going to be ready, but it took a lot longer. But that's not the main thing. The main thing was that the dealer is, I called him, he didn't reply my messages. When I told him that he made a mistake by omitting that it was made in India, he said, you know what, if you wanna cancel the contract and not take it, it's up to you, I don't care. So he was very, he didn't care much about it. But I already signed the papers and I was going to cancel my order, but the only thing that kept me buying it was the finance, the 0% finance. So I bought it, and then the second thing that I don't recommend about this bike is my concerns about the quality. You can see it right away on all the hardware. Once you get to let me turn this around. So once you start checking on the hardware, you realize that it's very cheap hardware. And my main problem, once I realized 100% that the hardware was crap, I was looking around it and I realized that this bolt was bent. This bolt right here, I don't know if you can see it. They replaced it after I told them that it was bent, that I was not happy. But also I had a second issue, that is when I saw the bike in the dealership, it was like this. It was without the seat handlebar, but they installed it after I purchased it. So when I went to pick it up, the handlebar was installed already. And let me open this. Hold on one sec. Okay, so the seat handlebar, it's installed here with 4 bolts. So since I have tools, I started to remove the handlebar, and it was then when I realized that these 2 bolts were stripped, but the 2 bolts that came with the handlebar. So I checked with the bolts that they gave me, because when they did install the handlebar, they took out these bolts and they used different bolts for the handlebar. So they gave me the original bolts, and I checked the bolts and they were not. I checked the bolts and they were not. They didn't have any issues. But when I took out the bolts of the handlebar, I could see that they did screw them the wrong way, so the thread was all cross-threaded. Since the original bolts were not cross-threaded and the ones they put were cross-threaded, that tells me that they did cross-thread them when they installed the handlebar. So when I went over the dealer and told them about this problem, they just brushed it off like it was nothing. But you have the bolts. Luckily, I have the tool to rectify the thread, but that's my problem. That's my problem. If you're buying a brand new bike and the dealer tells you or omits information so you can buy it, so you just sign the papers, and then all the bolts from factory, because that happened when they installed the handlebar. But the rest of the bolts, some are loose. I had to tighten them. That main bolt from the exhaust was bent from factory. So it's just the details that makes me run away from the dealers. Now I realize why Tesla has cut the dealers and they have a direct sales model, because there's no bullshit, and the problem with dealers is the bullshit. Sorry for the word, but that's what happened. The dealer lied to me in order to sell me the bike. The only thing that kept me from not canceling the order was the finance. The finance that 0% that is adjusted just in inflation. So in 3 years I'm paying like 300 euros just in interest. It's nothing. It's like having a bike for free. It's cheaper than renting a bike. So that was the only thing that kept me from giving the bike back. If you see, I just realized here, it's poorly finished. It's poorly finished. The quality of the bolts are not the best. I know it's a lot of bike for the price because it has a lot of features that are really good, but I just feel like the dealer didn't care at all. He just wanted to sell something without being honest, because if he would have told me, hey, you know what, it's made in India, just like the Triumph, but has a warranty and you're getting a lot of bike for the price because it has a regulatable ABS, super good suspension, blah blah blah, probably I wouldn't have get mad with him. But since he lied, I was like, and now I don't know what to do. Like, if I have to go do the service there so I don't lose the warranty, I'm not happy. So that's why I will not buy the Husqvarna. Not because of the bike itself, because you get a lot of bike for the price, but because of the dealer. That's it. And also the service. Like, I asked the guy on the service shop about who mounted the bolts, and I know he was the one who mounted the bolts because there's only 2 guys working there. And he played the fool instead of saying, "Oh, I'm sorry that I cross-threaded the bolts. Let me look at it. Let me change to give you new bolts, whatever." He just brushed it off like I was talking nonsense. So that's my experience, at least here in Barcelona, Catalonia, with the dealer of Husqvarna. And other than that, the bike, it's a really easy bike to ride. It has quick shift up and down. It's very fun. It's a very torquey engine. The suspension is really good, really adjustable, and I'm happy with the bike itself. I'm not happy with the service and also with the quality of like some of the components. Some are really good, others are I doubt they will last long. Other than that, thank you for tuning in to my other channel where I talk about random crap. Until the next one, see ya.